us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Throwback Thursday in the Doghouse. I am your host, Thom Abraham. So glad that you have joined us for this exercise in radio excellence. Lots of good stuff to get into today, plus some good room to get you guys in as well. Auburn got a big commitment from DeMarcus Riddick yesterday as Riddick flipped from Georgia's list to Auburn. He jumped right over Alabama to get to Auburn on that deal. And look, I'm just going to say this. All you need to know about Scummy Hugh Freeze's recruiting is this, okay? He's still Scummy Hugh Freeze. He's always going to be Scummy Hugh Freeze to me. All right, but from 2019 to 2023, there were 83 4- and 5-star players in the state of Alabama. And of those 83 4- and 5-star players, 37% went to Alabama, only 14% chose Auburn. Twice as many went to Alabama as went to Auburn. Right now, there are 25 players in the state that are listed as a 4- or 5-star kid. Now that Riddick is in the fold, 7 of them are committed to Auburn and 5 are committed to Alabama. And Riddick, by the way, is the first 5-star kid, period, to commit to Auburn since Owen Pappoe back in, 5 years ago? 2019, something like that. Okay? And now they're after, look, they're all over. They're trying to flip wide receiver Perry Thompson from Foley. And my boy Drew Armand tells me it's fitty right now. Thompson has been an Alabama commit for a year. He is a beast. He's bigger than Julio Jones was when he came out of Foley. Big-time 5-star receiver. Thompson will be with Riddick at Auburn's Big Cat Weekend this upcoming weekend. Justin Ferguson of the Auburn Observer, coming up in a few minutes, he's going to talk about that. Coming up at the top of the one, Steve Merrill from Pro Sports Info and Wager Talk TV is back. We'll get his take on some country hardball, not Harbaugh. Get to him in a minute. Hardball. Maybe get a NASCAR take in here as well. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson got touchy-feely at the end of the race at Pocono. And it was packed, by the way, there. And now they're going to go short track racing at Richmond, which is Steve Merrill's home track. Look, I think Hamlin is more hated right now than even Kyle Busch. But to be honest, I thought the Hamlin move was fine. Squeezing Larson into the wall, going for the win. Now, I know Dale Jr. said that it was a dirty move, but he also said he gets it. I mean, look, he may have hit him a little bit. I think he rubbed him. And rubbing is racing.
No, he didn't slam you, he didn't bump you, he didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
That's all. He rubbed them a little bit. I mean, what do we want? What do we want? We want open wheel racing? Is that what we want? We want IndyCar? We want Formula One where you can't touch each other? What do we want? They got fenders on these cars. Rubbing is racing. I say, you're racing a little bit. Yeesh. Anyway, we'll get into that. You want to react to that? Certainly you can do it. We've got some Jim Harbaugh from Big Ten Media Days for you. We'll get that in at some particular point in time. He shut down Big Ten Media Days. No, I don't mean like he shut it down. I mean, Big Ten Media Days is like 2 breakfasts. They have a morning session yesterday, they have a morning session today, and that's the end of it. What do they got? 14 teams over there, right? That's it. Done. They had them yesterday morning. Today, boom, done. Done before noon. Go play golf. Anyway, Harbaugh just finished speaking. Have not heard it yet. We got to play that for you because, I mean, the dude's suspended going to be suspended for the first 4 games. I mean, you're going to have to ask him about that. All he can do is not go to the game. I can't believe he gets to coach during the, what the hell kind of suspension is that? Can he not be in the stadium? Is he going to be up in a press box? Is he going to be in the suite? Is he going to be, does he have like end zone seats? Can he sit? Can he go to the game? Is he going to be across the street at the Dewdrop Inn watching the game? Will he be texting the staff? I don't know. And speaking of Big Ten Media Day, Ryan Day went yesterday. He says that it might be time to move the Ohio State-Michigan game on the calendar, which makes me wonder about the Iron Bowl. We'll explain why. Get that in here as well. Plus, is Colorado about to head back to the Big 12? When did they leave? Like, am I supposed to get all excited about Colorado going to the Big 12? I thought they were in the Big 12. I guess they left a few years ago. I mean, seriously, it would be a good get for the 12, finally adding, a P5 team instead of every team in the American or some other, minor conference. Now you need to go get Utah. Go get those 2 Arizona schools as well to get to 14 after Texas and Oklahoma leave. I mean, why the heck would anybody want to stay in the Pac-12? Utah, go to the Big 12. Arizona State, Big 12. The Pac-12 is so done. They're so over. Washington and Oregon, they've got the Big Ten on speed dial. Please take us, please take us, please take. Come on, can we come please now? Can we come now? Now Deion's gone. The only thing we had going for us was Deion after the LA teams left. And now Deion's gone. Prime time. He didn't even go to the Pac-12. I'd probably end up never going to a Pac-12 media day ever. Be a Big 12 media day next year. Washington and Oregon need to get to the Big 10. Get them to 18. I mean, who else matters then, really? Stanford and Cal? I mean, Stanford and Cal. Well, I'm going to take them, too, make it a Big 20. I mean, Stanford and Cal are a thing. They got to go together. One can't go and not the other. They got to go together. Stanford and Cal. Are they going to stay in a Pac-12 with Oregon State and Washington State and San Diego State and Fresno State? I mean, really? All right, phone lines are open. 256-576-4977. Text window open 24/7. 7329-TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469. It's a great way to communicate with us. My Twitter feed, at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show there. You can watch it on Facebook at 97.7 ESPN. On Twitch and on YouTube at WZZN TV. I don't even know if we're on Twitch anymore. I guess we still are, but we're getting fed up with them. Just go to YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. Get the notifications. 977ESPN.com has links to all of that stuff. Get our app. You need the app. You need the app. Because then you can find links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 and Zone 5, all our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. Like, dog, what happened to that Blitz thing? Well, we made the afternoon Blitz the morning Blitz with Captain Cool and the Bandy Man, and we brought the recruiting Blitz over as well and put everything under the 97.7 ESPN The Zone umbrella. Over there in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the Platters That Matter and the Stacks of Wax, answering the phones, keeping us on the air. Happy that his beloved Braves are in the National League East and not the American League East, where they could have beat the Red Sox twice and didn't either. He is the one and only DJ Grizzly Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. That Tom? Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Hey, Grizzlicious, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing just fine. I mean, I'm okay right now. The Braves are sitting
You got
kind of
like
pretty
a 10,
comfortable.
15-point lead,
Yeah.
15-game lead.
They literally
come
just
on.
called up a guy off waivers 3 days ago, and Yanni Chirinos, who's literally going to pitch tonight for them. So, and they optioned Mike Soroka back down to Gwinnett again. I mean, give Mike Soroka some kind of credit, something for coming back the way he has, and being able to go out there and give you some at least give you some innings and quality innings in the majors. And the Braves are just happen to just go and find a guy from just anywhere off the street somewhere, and then just literally throw him in there, and he'll probably be a stud tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just ridiculous what the Braves are able to do with what they're able to find pitching wise, not only in their farm, but actually trading for as well. Well, Pierce Johnson wasn't too great last night, but still, it was still a pretty. Watching Albies hit that 3-run shot was pretty sweet.
Well, I'll tell you what else happened yesterday that was very significant. The Angels said, screw this. We are not moving Shohei Ohtani. And, in fact, are we not moving Shohei Ohtani? We are going all in. And they're going to have a brutal schedule after the trade deadline is over. But they went and got, instead of trading their guy and trying to get a bunch of players, they went and got a guy in Lucas Giolito from the White Sox that is one of the best pitchers that's on the list out there. So they actually made a move to go get a guy, and these guys that they gave up, Edgar Cuero and Kai Bush, did either one of those play in Madison?
Definitely. Edgar Cuero scored a run last night. Catcher number 10. I think he got a single. I know he scored a run
last night for the Trash Pandas.
Yeah, last night.
Oh, so he should got traded after the game.
Literally, I was at the game watching this guy play, and then 23 minutes later, after the game was over, it said that he had been traded. It was like 10:30 or whatever when this happened. And he was like, it was out of here. And man, it was just when you saw even Kai Bush, I think pitched a couple days ago.
And then they also got Ronaldo Lopez from the White Sox. So it's the second time that Giolito and Lopez have been traded together. Back in 2016, and Nats sent both of them, along with Dane Dunning, to the White Sox for Adam Eaton. So boom, these guys just go together. You take Giolito, you got to take Lopez.
Deal.
Yeah, it's a package deal. So this is a risk. This is a risk for the Angels, but they're like, screw it. If we can't, and what they're trying to do is, I think they're trying to show Ohtani that we are willing to make a move. They're 4 games back right now in the wild card. They have got a brutal schedule that's coming up after the in August, after the trade deadline is over with, and they're gonna take their risk. If they lose Ohtani at the end of the year as a free agent, all they're going to get is compensatory draft picks. That's it for the Unicorn. Big move.
That's a huge move. It's you're trying to gamble on it, and my thing is like I don't know if it's going to work out for them or not. It clearly hasn't with all the money that they're spending and everything like that. It just seems like this isn't going to work out for the Angels.
You're just going right there, huh?
I mean, to be honest with you,
give them a chance.
I mean, when I'm looking at the money that they're spending. And the guys just the money alone that's in the injured list.
Yes.
Or just not performing at all.
Yeah.
And you basically got the trash angels out there who guys aren't getting paid that much or carrying your franchise right now.
Right.
Do something like the Braves. Do something like other franchises that are the Reds that are able to take their guys and actually do something with them. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. You're one of the top paid clubs, and you can't, or franchise, and you can't get it right.
Have you ever been to the Standard Social Market on Holmes Avenue for breakfast?
No, I have not.
Yeah. According to AL.com, they were just ranked as the #1 breakfast place in Huntsville. Okay? The Standard Social Market, they say that there's no parking and the prices aren't cheap. I don't know anything about the Standard Social Market. #2 on the list was the Blue Plate Cafe. I do know the Blue Plate Cafe on Governors.
Yes.
We all know the Blue Plate. Okay, they've been around for about 20 years. It seems like they've been around a lot longer than that. They got here just before I got here. All right, but the Blue Plate was ranked #2. #3 on their list was Good Company Cafe on Memorial Parkway, Southwest. Have you ever been there? The Good Company Cafe?
No, actually, no, I've never been there. No.
Not me neither. I don't know those people. We'll have to check them out. #4 on their list on Whitesburg is the Hound and Harvest. You ever been to the Hound and Harvest? That's not too far from where you live. The Hound and Harvest.
No, I've never been there either, actually.
Never been there either. And the #5 best breakfast place in all of the Tennessee Valley, Bubby's Diner on Whitesburg Drive. I want a recount. I think that Bubby's Diner should have been at the top of this list. I think
easily been on top of the list.
I think that it should have been on top of this list. I don't understand how they put them at that. No, not #9. No. They said about Bubby. But look, hey, being #5 doesn't suck.
I'm gonna tell you right now, those biscuits,
top 5.
Oh,
you know, top
Bubby's,
5.
Biscuits, hands down.
It says in previous weeks this summer, we've highlighted local barbecue, pizza, burgers, ice cream, hot dogs, meat and 3, and donuts. Thus far, there hasn't been overlap in our picks. However, from here on out, there will be. Because their down-home cuisine nature, places good at meat and 3s often do breakfast right, too. For example, Bubby's Diner. Despite its retro kitsch motif, what do you mean despite?
Despite
this South Huntsville, that's a selling point. Despite, don't get all hoity-toity with me, AL.com.
This Hound and Harvest, I see all this fancy bowl stuff.
All this, despite. What do you mean despite?
They probably have artsy chairs in there.
This South Huntsville treasure. No, we don't want to disparage any of the other places.
Oh no, they're probably disparaging.
I'm just saying, Bubby should have been higher on the list. This South Huntsville treasure is refreshingly hipster-free. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Wow.
Refreshingly hipster-free.
Oh, the other ones are hipsters.
Yeah. We are refreshing. That's why we go there and do shows there. Lots of seniors and lower middle-class families. Yes. That's you. I'm the senior. You're a lower middle-class family person. Okay.
With a dog.
There's an endearing, neighborly vibe among Bubby's customers. Yes. It's true. Yeah.
That is true.
Bubby's does a solid biz with their meat and 3 lunches, but Saturday at breakfast, it's packed. No doubt. No doubt. This Saturday morning, my table's napkin dispenser was empty. Empty.
Hey.
Well, that's because so many people have been in there, eating this stuff. Yeah, they're coming in and out. And the sweet server waiting on me was in the weeds. A guy at the next table noticed this. He tapped me on the shoulder and he handed me a few napkins from his table's dispenser. I mean, really? That's what we're writing about?
Yeah.
The dispenser being empty? Is that why there were 5 and not 1?
I would have just waited until, she was done. But, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Anyway. So Bubby's gets top 5 treatment. But here's the thing. The story, which is it says Huntsville's best breakfast, our top 5. And as you scroll down it, the first thing you see is Bubby's sign. Because they did 5 through 1 instead of 1 through 5.
Yeah.
So if I'm Bubby's, I thought Bubby's was number 1.
At the top,
when
baby.
I first got the thing, I thought Bubby's was number where they belong. I thought they were number 1 where they belong. Nah. Good job by Bubby's.
Gosh, I need a meat and 3. I need some breakfast.
What are the 3 when you get a meat and 3?
I mean,
I'm more of a meat and 2 guy, myself.
A lot of times, whatever they've got special wise, or Mine is I always get the Kimmy's.
Spit it out.
The Kimmy's. What's it called? The mac and cheese.
My thing?
The Kimmy. No, you get the. No, you get something
Kimmy's
different.
Bacon Jam Cheeseburger is the Thom Abraham special. Is that what you're talking about? That's the only thing that's got Kimmy's name on it. Is Kimmy's?
Oh, no, Charlie's. What's Charlie's?
Oh, Charlie's.
Yeah.
Charlie's Pimento Cheeseburger?
Pimento Cheeseburger. There you go, Charlie's.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's yours, Kimmy's. I got it mixed up. Yeah,
Yes.
Charlie's Pimento is... I'm not even a pimento cheese fan.
Kimmy's Bacon Jam Cheeseburger. But that's not meat and three. That's a burger, you knucklehead. That's a meat and three is Dale's grilled or deep fried catfish, chicken nuggets, sugar cured ham, meatloaf, country fried steak and white gravy, hamburger steak with grilled onions and brown gravy or grilled chicken.
The meatloaf.
That's the meat and three.
The meatloaf with fries, okra, and slaw.
There's your meat and three.
Yeah, but the meatloaf, try it. And their desserts. Oh my. Oh,
yeah.
The ice cream.
I ask you what's your favorite meat and three, and you go to a burger.
I know.
Like you always do this to me. I ask you, what day is today? You say blue.
So I was listening, remember?
No, it's true. You're not listening. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer will join us next, and we'll observe what's going on with Auburn and their recruiting right here on the Thom Abraham Show. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Come see your Rocket City Trash Pandas take on the Tennessee Smokies Thursday night for a Burgers and Buds happy hour at Toyota Field. Not only is it happy hour tonight, but on Friday, the first 5,000 fans will receive a Trash Pandas rally towel. Get your tickets now while you still can at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Let's rock it. At Woody Anderson Ford, it's your car, your way, every day. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with some great lease and finance packages. Come test drive one of our all-electric 2023 Mach-E's and you'll see what all the fuss is about. Get financing as low as 2.9% for 60 months plus $4,000 in bonus cash. Or lease the Mach-E for $479 a month. And speaking of leases, how about a 2023 Bronco Sport for $399 or a 23 Edge for $449? These are 36-month leases with $52.71 on Mach-E, $37.09 on Bronco Sport, and $48.79 on Edge Do It signing. Zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. All offers in July 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we also have F-150 STX with $3,500 in total trade assist, plus financing as low as 3.9% for 60 months. And with nearly 30 STXs to choose from, you may find exactly what you're looking for. Come on in today. Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Want to see what I bring to the party?
Congratulations to The Drive as we celebrate a decade of Wes and Steve. Here's to 10 more.
Now, Sonny and Cher would say, that's on you, babe.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Wait a minute, that's Dallas. Is that Dallas? That's Dallas.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. Is there a particular theme for this day?
Not entirely, because it just kind of crept up on me, and I was just throwing a bunch of throwback music.
So you're not going to play like Knots Landing next or something like that?
No,
you got the Dallas, you got the old Dallas. My wife and I actually started watching the reboot of Quantum Leap.
Scott Bakula?
We were laughing about the reboot of it. It was Scott Bakula back in the day, but there's a new Quantum Leap.
Oh, I don't know if I can watch the reboot. Nah.
But no, they pick up where it left off, which is kind of cool. They like show Scott Bakula, and then he apparently disappeared. He left at the end. I never watched Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula, but he left at the end of and he never came back. Like he's like lost in space somewhere.
What are the rules?
And so now they got this, I didn't watch it back in the day, so I don't.
Oh man, I used to love old school. Yeah, for sure. I could probably get into it.
So Dallas had a reboot. All right, so maybe you could just do all shows that had reboots. There was a bunch of that could be a theme. There were all these shows like Magnum PI
nowadays
has
everything.
a reboot. Yeah,
Walker
MacGyver
Texas
had
Ranger.
a reboot. Walker Texas Ranger. It's not called Walker Texas. It's just called Walker.
Walker.
I want to watch that, but they want to charge me $2.99 an episode, even though I'm already paying $300 a month for cable and everything. So anyway. All right. Joining us now, a guy that does a tremendous job not watching Walker, Texas Ranger. But he does a great job with the Auburn Observer, handling all things Auburn. I did not see him at SEC Media Days in Nashville, but there was 1,000 media members there, so that doesn't mean he wasn't there. He joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. It's Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer. Jay Ferg, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tom?
I am tremendous. Were you in Nashville? Did I miss you?
Yeah, I was there. I just wasn't there very long. I was just hung out mostly Auburn today and kind of went there and back since it wasn't too bad of a trip. But yeah, there were a ton of people there. It's, I felt like I only got to cover like a little bit of, I only saw a little bit of Radio Row, so I probably just never got over around where you were.
Yeah, it was interesting. There were a number of people I've talked to that did that. They just came in for Tennessee, or they just came in for Alabama, or they just came in for Auburn. And, so there was a number of people that, how did you feel that Hugh Freeze did at the podium, in handling the media and so on here in this, in his return to the league?
Yeah, I thought it went well. I mean, I think he's done a really good job of really kind of setting the big picture, vision for Auburn, which is kind of what he was brought in to do. And I think it's not surprising. I think when you hear about Auburn this year, you hear hearing a lot about 2023 and what they need to do this year to get back on track. But a lot of the stuff is still very big picture. What it's going to take in recruiting, what it's going to take in development. And knowing that, Auburn's roster has gotten better from where they were when Friesen inherited the job, but also it's like they've still got a ton of work to do in order to compete with the best of the best in the league, and they know that. And I think the message is like, hey, it's going to take some patience for Auburn to get back where they feel like they're going to be. So, I think that was a good message to send to everybody.
Yeah, what's going to happen down the road is probably a much better harbinger of what is to come for Auburn. People forget a little bit sometimes that Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, he went 6-6 in the regular season and won a bowl game to go 7-6. And if Auburn were to do that, that would be a move forward, right? That would be a move, in the right direction with a big class coming in for 2024. And that's the way Nick Saban's first year was, 6-6 in a bowl win.
Yeah, and Kirby's first year at Georgia wasn't the greatest in the world either.
8-4, I think
that's. Yeah, so I think that's the thing is that, with Auburn, it's Gus Malzahn was just so successful in year one that it just kind of warps kind of expectations of what you do. But you got to understand, when Gus Malzahn came in 2013, he was picking up a team that an offense that he had run a little over a year earlier. Auburn had recruited really well to that point. They just, everything kind of fell apart from a program standpoint. It was much easier to rebuild and pick up the pieces. When you've had back-to-back losing seasons like Auburn has, getting back to a bowl game, winning, and finishing with above 500, that is a success. Now, that's not a crazy, huge success, but it can be a tone setter, and I think Auburn fans need to be okay with the tone setter.
When I was reading about DeMarcus Riddick's flip, one of the notes in there was this is the first 5-star commitment for Auburn in, what will be 5 years. When you get to spring of 2024, you got to go back to Owen Papo in 2019. I thought that was a misprint. I thought, they must be talking about just Alabama 5 stars, and I went back and I checked it again. State of Alabama 5. No, and maybe they mean just the 5-star linebacker. No. I can't believe that. I mean, it's been since 2019 since they had any kind of a 5-star. I mean, that does, that tells the whole story as to why they had those back-to-back losing years.
Absolutely. 2020, they had a really good recruiting class right before the pandemic hit, but it was a lot of high 4-stars, and a lot of those guys aren't here anymore. They left during the transitions and all that. And then you have 2 years of the Hartson era where obviously recruiting was not good at all. And then in this last season, you kind of pick up, the pieces for Hugh Freeze and his staff, and they do a good job. And they get a guy like Keldrick Falk, who was, I think Rivals had him as a 5-star, but he wasn't a composite 5-star. Not everybody across the board thought of him that way. And the thing with DeMarcus Riddick is that he's a high 4-star, extremely high 4-star everywhere. And the fact that everybody's opinion is kind of united, they're like, no, this guy's 40 type of player, gets to be a 5-star when it's all said and done. But DeMarcus Riddick, huge pickup for Auburn to get a guy. This is a win over your 2 biggest rivals, which you don't get very many of these at Auburn, at least not recently. Pick off a guy Alabama wanted, get somebody from Georgia, flipping them. I mean, it's a big win. It's a big win for sure. Now, Alabama and Georgia are still going to have elite recruiting classes. They're going to be obviously fine for a very long time. But these are the kind of things you need to do to start kind of, whittling your way back to being competitive on a consistent basis. So great pickup for Auburn and DeMarcus Riddick with him and Joe Phillips, who's right down the road in Tuskegee, who they picked up earlier this summer, a guy that a lot of people thought was going to Georgia. Auburn's got 2 really athletic in-state linebackers that can be a foundation of a great defensive class.
Didn't Riddick do the hat dance thing already when he committed to Georgia? I mean, I thought that he had done all of that already, and then it's like he did another one. He decommits from Georgia and then does another hat dance to commit to Auburn, it seemed like.
I honestly don't know what he was doing in November, because last November is when he committed to Georgia the first time. But, the whole thing of this next one is that he wanted to go ahead and get something done before his senior year of high school and senior season of high school and go ahead and get it done. But, I will say this. Great commitment for Auburn. You'll be very excited if you're Auburn to get something like that. You got to hold on to him because I don't think everybody's just going to throw their hands up and say, oh, well, he's going to Auburn. Don't worry. People are going to continue to try to flip him back. So it's going to be a fight to the finish. And, you'll be waiting for this one until he can sign in December.
Yeah, kid from Chilton County. That's about midway between Birmingham and Montgomery, right? Where he's from.
Yes, yeah, and not a place that traditionally produces a ton of high-level high school talent. Chilton County, I believe there's only been one Letterman ever from Auburn to play at Auburn from Chilton County, and he was a defensive lineman who was around during the Chiswick era. So like it's a different kind of spot. But Auburn's gotten those guys here recently. Like, everybody thinks of in the state of Alabama. Everybody thinks of getting the really good Birmingham prospects, the really good Mobile area prospects. The big win so far for Hugh Freeze in this recruiting era that he's had. He's gotten a kid from Chilton County to flip from Georgia and go over to Alabama, and then with Keldrick Falk last December, the kid who was going to go to Florida State. He's from Highland Home, and I don't know if a lot of people up in your neck of the woods would know where Highland Home is. It's the middle of nowhere south of Montgomery, a little 1A school.
Mm-hmm.
So, they've been able to find some talent in some remote rural places.
Well, I read some data that of the 4- and 5-star kids since 2019, there was 83 of them, and 31 of those went to Alabama, and 12 went to Auburn. More than double the number of 4 and 5s going to Alabama in-state kids. But this year, right now, there are 25 4 and 5 stars, and 7 of them are committed to Auburn, while only 5 are committed to Alabama. And one of the 5 is Perry Thompson. Now, Alabama fan is like, okay, all right, so you get the Riddick kid. He wasn't committed to us anyway. You stole him from Georgia. But wait a minute, Perry Thompson, the beast of a wide receiver, has been committed to Alabama for a year. This weekend is Big Cat weekend, and he is going to be, Riddick is going to be there, and Thompson is going to be there. And a lot of people think it's a 50-50 deal right now on Perry Thompson, and that one would make some of that. That's a true blue 5-star as well. And if that kid comes out of there with a commitment to Auburn, that'll definitely send some ripples across the state.
Absolutely. I mean, Perry Thompson went on his official visit earlier this summer. A lot of people thought Auburn had a good chance to flip him. He comes out of that visit saying, hey, still committed to Alabama, but it's looking 50-50, basically neck and neck between Auburn and Alabama. Dead period ends this weekend. Big recruiting weekend for everybody. He's coming to Big Cat. He made the announcement that he is coming to Big Cat. Now, Alabama could get him on campus this weekend. I'm sure they would love to try to get him in on an official visit, but I would fully expect from the moment Perry Thompson shows up for Big Cat weekend, it's going to be a full court press to try to get him for Auburn. They have really, really emphasized just his value to this offense, his value, what he could mean to the recruiting class. Sure, the fact that he's committed to Alabama is a huge deal, but he would be a big-time commitment from anywhere. And I think the other thing to keep in mind is that another 5-star receiver in Alabama, Cam Coleman, made the surprise decision earlier this summer to commit to Texas A&M. He's right down the road in Central Phoenix City. A lot of people thought Auburn had a good shot at Coleman. That just makes Perry Thompson an even bigger deal for Auburn, and so he is one of the headliners this weekend at Big Cat. Him and the other big one for Auburn that they're trying to get into is KJ Bolden, the really elite safety that they're trying to pry away from Georgia.
I love when these kids, I'm committed to Alabama, but it's 50-50. What the hell is that?
Yep.
That's like I'm committed to my wife, but, it's 50-50. I might date somebody else. I mean, what? I don't understand. Sometimes I think we use the word commitment very loosely. You know what I mean? You're not committed to anybody if you're 50-50. I mean, what is that? Justin Ferguson.
Yeah, it's modern recruiting. It's modern recruiting. Sure.
I'm committed. No, you're not committed. If you're 50-50, you're not committed. I don't even understand why kids go on trips if you're don't commit. Just don't commit and keep going to all of these different places. Now, the interesting thing about Thompson, and this is mind-blowing, this is a 6'3", almost 6'4", 210. This kid's bigger than Julio Jones was coming out of Foley. This kid says that before Hugh Freeze and that staff got there, that he had never been contacted by Auburn. How in the heck could that possibly be that a kid at Foley, who is that dominant, a 5-star receiver, and you're telling me that Brian Harson's staff, they never even recruited the kid? That's mind-boggling.
Yep, and they had never recruited DeMarcus Riddick until, Auburn, the new staff came and got DeMarcus Riddick. So like that's it's insane. I mean, I guess people are really, really learning why Brian Harsin. I mean, 2 years, less than 2 years is a short amount of time for a head coach. I get that, but like, you know, stories like that show you why Auburn thought it was, you know, time to go ahead and pull the plug early because, you know, recruiting is the lifeblood of college football, especially in the SEC. And there was nothing that was saying that the recruiting operation under Brian Harsin was going to be able to compete at a high level long term. There was nothing. There was no evidence that was going to be the case. And the good reason why they hired Hugh Freeze is because they thought he could come in and immediately recruit. And so far he's done that.
I would want to ask Cadillac Williams about that because he's a holdover from the staff and obviously was the interim head coach at the end. Yeah, and Zach, but it's a legit question to ask those guys and say, did you guys never hear of Perry Thompson? I mean, was anybody not, you know, because I know they have their own areas and things like that, but it would be interesting to get their take on it since they were part of that staff.
Oh, yeah, and I think a lot of it is just, these guys had their areas and they had their positions, and, like, for some reason there were some elite players that just did not get contacted whatsoever from Auburn. And that's, you know, I think that if you look at Auburn's roster this year and you look at them moving forward, I think those two position groups that they coach, Cadillac's running backs, Zach Etheridge coaching the DBs with Wes McGriff, those are the two rooms on Auburn's roster that is deepest and the most talented and the best position for the future. And so, yeah, they're Auburn guys. They played at Auburn. They were stars at Auburn. Won championships with Auburn. That helps a lot. But, like, a huge reason why they're still here is because they were among the only people on the previous staff that were doing their jobs in recruiting. And, you know, they've got a head coach that at least reflects that now.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. That's for sure. All right. Well, always a great job. Justin Ferguson joins us all throughout the season, which is right around the corner now, and it's great to be able to talk to him. It's the Auburn Observer. Now, do you have any great deals going on? Because you always seem to have these great deals as we're getting ready for camps to open and things like that. What's the latest, greatest deal now for the Auburn Observer where they can get in there and, you know, and get all your tremendous content?
Yeah, usually I would tell folks right now, hey, you know, sign up right away. This is the best time to do it. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you and honest to everybody that's listening to you. Fall camp starts a week from today here at Auburn. There will be a special next week. So tune in about middle of next week, Wednesday or Thursday next week, and we'll be offering a discount to new subscribers. So
that's a really honest.
Now, but
that's an honest thing.
I'd love for you to jump on now, but do it next week. Do it next week. I'll save you a little money if you do it around this time next week.
That's a very honest thing for you to do because I know I have a red ass over the Athletic, which I paid whatever $45, and again keeps renewing $45 a year, $50 a year, which isn't a lot of money. But then they keep offering it new people $1 a month or whatever it is. I pay $1 a month right now, and I'm like, wait a minute, why are you charging me $50? I've been a subscriber since day one. And you're charging some new guy $12. I mean, come on, you know, So that's a good job by you. It's honorable.
Next week, sometime around next week, I think I'll be able to save a little bit of money.
All right, good job by you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tom.
Stuff. Thank you. By the way, speaking of expensive, not that I'm not belly aching about the fact that it costs $50 a year. But don't you hate that, Grizz? When you know who does that? The TV people do that.
Yeah.
Xfinity and stuff like that. And I remember one year when DirecTV had Sunday Ticket, that my son had gotten Sunday Ticket, or no, my son had gotten DirecTV. One of my sons had gotten DirecTV, and then like a month later, they came out with this thing where if you get DirecTV now, you get Sunday Ticket for free.
Yeah,
and so he called them and he's like, can I get some? I just got it a month ago. Can I? Oh no, this is for new subscribers. You got to pay, $300. I mean, what the heck is that?
Yeah, it's like paying for like Hulu all the time, and then when they came up with that Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus package, it's like at first you were paying for just Hulu, now you're going to get all this bundle or whatever if you're new, and a lot of times, I mean, I there's times I want to do it. I want to pick up on it, like, and get on that deal because it just seems like to be a newer customer, it just seems like there's always a new deal later on down the road, than people that are, paying customers that have been there.
Yeah, I'm going to do something at some point. I don't know, this whole cord cutting thing, and it's all confusing a little bit to me. Of course, cable was confusing to me in the 80s, but I was like, who needs that? But now I literally pay $300 a month. I mean, between my high-speed internet and the cable, and then I have these things that I'm paying for within, on top of paying $300 a month, I got to pay extra, to get this, ESPN Plus and that and the other thing. So I got to figure out how this whole thing will do, because this cord cutting thing, it is of interest, but I have multiple TVs. I want to be able to watch it, and I don't want to use my phone as a remote. And I mean, I don't know. It seems so complicated, and then do you get bills from multiple places? So you got to pay Hulu, and you got to pay ESPN Plus, and you got. I want to bundle it, which is cable, that type of thing.
Live by the bundle, die by the bundle.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean, but that's the thing about it. It's just that stinks. Is like you want to watch a show, and it may only be one show, and it's on different. It's on Hulu or it's on Netflix, and I have
Prime, I have Hulu, I have Netflix. What am I doing? I mean, it's just ridiculous. By the way, for those of you wondering, because we just talked about Auburn and their recruiting and getting that kid, and they must be, in the top 5. It moved them into the top 30. Auburn's 27th right now on the composite list with their 12 commitments. And to put that in perspective, in the SEC, they're behind Ole Miss, they're behind South Carolina, they are behind Arkansas, they are behind Oklahoma. We'll call them an SEC team. They are behind LSU, which is 12. They're behind Texas A&M. They are behind Tennessee. They're behind Alabama. They're behind Florida. They're behind Georgia. So in the SEC, look, they're making headway. I'm not saying they're not making headway, but they're 12th out of, look at that. They put them in there. They're 12th out of 16 teams. I'm looking at 24/7 Sports, Chris. I was looking at the recruiting rankings for 24/7 Sports, and I'm like, Kentucky's 15th. There's only 14 teams. Ooh, they have put Texas and Oklahoma on the SEC list because they'll be, when these kids come in at 2024, they're an SEC team. So Texas is number 9, Oklahoma's number 7, and Texas is number 9 in the SEC. Alabama's 3rd behind Georgia and Florida. But Georgia has 25 commitments. It's a numbers game. Georgia has 25 commitments, 3 of them 5 stars. Alabama only has 15 commitments right now, 3 of them 5 stars, and Florida has 21 commitments, 2 of them 5 stars. So I go kind of by average stars is kind of what I'm looking at. Average stars: Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Ohio State 3, Southern Cal 4 in the country on average stars. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and maybe we can get a phone line open, maybe not. But we'll set you up for hour number 2. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do afterpaint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air back in studio with us. And Thomas, those temperatures in the summertime starting to rise once again. You want to make sure you're not left out in the heat. You want some cold AC, give Talent Heating and Air a call.
That's right. If you give us a call, we can generally get out there the same day. So we pride ourselves on same-day service.
And what's that number?
256-503-4490.
And if those AC units are giving you the blues and you've already called someone else, never fear, give Talent Heating and Air a call because you guys can still come out.
That's right. We do free second opinions on major repairs and quotes. A lot of times we save our customers thousands of dollars and additionally get their units repaired before the other guy could even get started.
And that number for Talent Heating and Air is?
256-503-4490.
And if you can't give Talent Heating and Air a call, you can find them online at
talenthvac.com.
Schedule all your appointment service calls there. Talent Heating and Air. Give them a call or find them online today.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon, maybe an isolated shower. Otherwise, it is just simply going to be hot. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices climbing into the lower triple digits. We drop into the mid 70s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Making a solid run at the triple digits. Heat indices are going to be in the triple digits, anywhere between 104 and 106. An isolated shower certainly going to be possible Friday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
Little Magnum PI. Welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. Is that right? Is that Magnum PI? That's Magnum, right?
Hawaii 5-0.
Hawaii 5-0. What the hell am I talking about? That's a reboot. Hawaii 5-0. That was a reboot. Now the reboot's dead. I mean, it was like 7 or 8 years. And
Yeah,
James
Magnum PI is
Caan's
not as good. I'm sorry.
James Caan's son was on it. The new Magnum PI?
Yeah.
The new Magnum PI got canceled by CBS and picked up by NBC. So it changed networks. That happens every once in a while. Wow. That happened with Last Man Standing as well. That last one that you played from the text window, somebody said it was the least manly bump song ever. I don't know.
Really? Dallas?
That's what they said. I don't know. I don't even. Wait, let's see who it is.
Not a Dallas fan.
Chubby Ninja. Chubby Ninja said that's the least manly Throwback Thursday song ever. What the heck? Let me go over again. Let me give him the last 2 minutes of the hour. Wolverine Dan, you got the last 2 minutes of the hour. Your boy Jim Harbaugh coming up here in the hour number 2. You'll be able to hear what he said.
Yeah, he's my man. No doubt about it. Don't worry about Jim Harbaugh. It's all going to be fine, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But listen, back's a little stiff, dude. I played 18, went to Cherokee Ridge, and I'm driving to Madison to work out. And, I tell you what, this old Cadillac is a 2006 DTS with the North Star. It's got a massage thing, man. You can massage your lower back. It feels really good.
What are you driving, a 2006 Cadillac?
Yeah, man, DTS at the North Star.
It's almost 20 years old, right? It's like 18-year-old car.
Beautiful. It's still in great shape, Tom.
All right.
Hey, anyway, course is in great shape. They're going to aerate next week, so if you think about playing, they'll give you a little discount on the greens. But, I did well in the front, and, I blew up a little bit in the back, but, 89 is respectable.
Yeah, very respectable.
Yeah. Oh, we got tee time set up for Bear Trace, baby. The 20, I think it's the 23rd at 7:50.
23rd of August? Like a month from now?
Yeah.
So how many do you have it for?
Well, we got 3 for sure. We got two. We got a threesome and a twosome.
A threesome and a twosome. You guys are weird. What kind of day is that?
I think it's a Thursday, bro.
Okay. Well, I can't play on a Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday at 7:50.
All right. When you get there, tell them that. Tell them that your friends of the show, because they listen. So tell me, listen to Tom Abraham show.
Senior rate, because you're 62. That's the senior rate, bro.
My rate is a little better than the senior rate there. Just saying.
Oh, you know the guy. You know a guy. Is that it?
Well, the guy, he's a big-time listener. He's been listening for years. He used to live. I think he lives in Huntsville. The guy that's the director of golf there lives in Huntsville. Goes back and forth.
What's his first name?
I forget.
Oh no, that didn't end well. But hey, I'll just tell him I'm Wolverine Dad, brother. He might charge me double.
He might. Yeah, all right, man. We got to get breaking.
Oh, hey, listen, real quickly. Where did Michigan rank on recruiting?
I'll tell you in a bit. They're very high. They're in the top 5. All right, we'll be back. Steve Merrill is next. Pro Sports Info on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Giants' busy offseason continues. Agreed on a 5-year, $117 million extension with star left tackle Andrew Thomas, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Includes $67 million guaranteed at signing, a record for an offensive lineman. Previously, New York signed quarterback Daniel Jones and defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence to lucrative extensions. Texans have shored up both offensive tackle spots, protecting rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. Schefter also reports they reached a 3-year, $56 million extension with tackle Titus Howard. Houston signed left tackle Laramie Tunsil to a 3-year deal back in March. NHL Hurricanes signed top center Sebastian Aho, 8-year, $78 million extension. U.S. women's national team midfielder Rose Lavelle available to start tonight against the Netherlands in the Women's World Cup. It would be her first start since injuring her knee in April.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL training camps getting underway this week. Looking at Super Bowl 58 odds. The Chiefs are the favorite to win it again at plus 600, followed by last year's runner-up Philadelphia at plus 800. The Bills are a plus $900 bet. The 49ers plus 1,000. The Bengals plus 1,100. The Bears are plus $6,000 bet, while the Packers check in at plus 6,500. The Colts plus 12,500. Baseball tonight at Guaranteed Rate Field. The White Sox and Cubs square off again. Marcus Stroman gets the nod for the Cubs, while Lance Lynn takes the ball for the White Sox. The Cubs minus 115 on the money line. The White Sox plus 105. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon, maybe an isolated shower. Otherwise, it is just simply going to be hot. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices climbing into the lower triple digits. We drop into the mid 70s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Making a solid run at the triple digits. Heat indices are going to be in the triple digits, anywhere between 104 and 106. An isolated shower certainly going to be possible Friday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back, hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. Grumpy says that Wolverine Dan should be called Chocolate Chip Dan now, or Cookie Dan, Cookie Monster Dan, or something like that. Apparently, that's what he wants him to be called because of his cookie talk. He doesn't like the TV talk either. He says we can't talk about the TV talk anymore because, we have so much stuff to talk about here with the season coming up. And, it's talking season. So we don't want us talking about the TV talk, if you will. All right. Joining us now, a guy who does a tremendous job, Pro Sports Info and Wager Talk TV, Steve Merrill, and he is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Steve, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Tom, doing well. Good to see you, my man.
Well, it's good to see you as well. And, I want to do a little NASCAR first because I know they're coming to your home track there at Richmond, Virginia. But Kyle Larson was very, very upset with Denny Hamlin at the end of the race at Pocono. Now, luckily, we have some audio from Kyle Larson's crew chief. Take a listen.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing's son is racing.
I hate Denny Hamlin. I really do. I think he's more disliked now than even Kyle Busch is. But damn.
Hamlin got booed when I was at the Richmond race in 2019. The last time I was out at the track, he actually got booed at introductions, which shocked me. I was down right at the stage with a pit pass, and he's from Chesterfield, Virginia, within half an hour of Richmond. It is his home track, and he still got booed, which is something you do not see too often. This was 4 years ago, and I don't think he's done much to change that, like you said.
Yeah, but in this case, as much as I dislike the guy, Rubbin's racing. I don't have they put fenders on these cars. This isn't Formula One or IndyCar. Right. And, the fact that Hamlin squeezed Kyle Larson into the wall a little bit there, whether he brushed him, rubbed him, or hit him. Come on. What are we supposed to do? I don't know. It didn't feel like a dirty thing to me. It just felt like racing.
I totally agree. And that's one of the reasons I like NASCAR as opposed to Formula One or Indy. And that's also one of the reasons that the same drivers have won every single Formula One race. Like two guys have won every, same team has basically won every race.
Right.
Same two drivers have won every race. And it's not competitive. There's not a lot of passing with the open wheels. And I feel like NASCAR, with these new generation cars have gotten away from the past. It made it a great sport. And that's one of the reasons the stands are half full. The TV ratings are hurting at times, and lo and behold, they've gone to 7 or 8 road courses now each season. They're talking about adding even more. Very soon, they might be an open wheel series as well.
Well, they have, the crowds have been good lately. I mean, that crowd at Pocono was really good. The TV numbers still lead the weekend every weekend, even though they're not what they were before. And now, anytime you got a little bit of angst like that between two guys, and then they go to a short track like Richmond, it adds a little juice, I think, to Richmond. I'm more interested probably in watching a Richmond race this weekend than I maybe would have been before Hamlin and Larson had a little dust up.
Well, especially since they're two of the best drivers at Richmond. Both guys are going to be a top 5 favorite to win going into Richmond, and they're going to probably be in the contention at the end. They are buddies, though. It's not like it's a Logano-Hamlin situation. Larson and Hamlin are friends off the track. Maybe that's dwindled a little bit. And Larson, obviously, with that suspension for a full year, has had to kind of tread lightly, I think, on his return, where Hamlin just doesn't care. The fact that Hamlin wrecked him, I doubt he would do it a second time, but it is his home track, so who knows? Does Larson have it in him to do it to Hamlin, though? But you're right. This is a great setup because it's a 3/4 mile. It's the third shortest track on the circuit after the other 2 Virginia area tracks in Bristol and Martinsville are half miles. But Richmond's big enough where it still races like a super speedway. I'm not biased just because it's my home track. I've been there 20-plus times, but I really do think it's the best designed track because you get a mix of both short track, yet you get some speed as well.
Yeah, it'll be some good stuff. There's no doubt about it. All right, talking a little baseball here as, we have the news that the Angels are going to hang on to Shohei Ohtani. They're, 4 games out, leading Detroit 3-0, so they'll be 3.5 games out probably by the time the rest of the games get going later on tonight. And, they kind of going all in. I mean, they made a good trade getting Lucas Giolito out of the White Sox. And we'll see. Their schedule is brutal coming up after the trade deadline. The first 4 or 5 series that they play in August are really, really tough. But, you wonder whether or not that kind of changes the mindset there and if there's any chance that they're going to be able to try and hang on to Ohtani.
Correct. And, I mean, as you said, though, that 4 out today is the wild card. There's 7 out the division behind Texas and Houston. But, yeah, they got a doubleheader against Detroit, and there's only 3 other games taking place tonight, so neither Houston or Texas plays. So they could be 3 back in the wild card here and only 6 back in the division by the end of the night. And they are in contention. And, it's funny, everyone says Ohtani's out of L.A., but, it's like, where's he going to go? He's a big market guy, so that means one of the 2 New York teams. The Angels and Dodgers are 2 of the top 5 payroll teams as well. So it's not like he's leaving a small market, but they also have the biggest contract in the history of baseball on that team already with Mike Trout. So that's part of the problem. And you do feel like he'll end up elsewhere, but there's a very limited spots where he could go. The 2 New York teams, I don't know if Boston could afford him. The Dodgers or the Angels. He's already on the Angels. So it's going to be a very interesting outcome.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think that that it'll be the Dodgers. It could even be San Francisco. They have a huge Asian population up there, and it certainly would be very popular up there. And you would think that they would have the kind of cake that it will take. But it is interesting. You look at these huge payroll teams. Look at the top 4 or 5 payrolls in Major League Baseball. None of those teams are in the playoffs right now, and yet you look at the Baltimore Orioles, who are the second smallest payroll in the entire Major League Baseball. They got the best record in the American League. The Rays were playing great for a long period of time. The Cincinnati Reds, they got Joey Votto at $25 million and nobody else. I mean, the next highest paid guy is like a couple of million, and the Reds are a playoff team right now. So, this concept of spending $350 million, look what it did for the Mets.
Oh, and I love it. I root for it every year. The 2 things I root for is chaos in the college football playoffs because I want a bigger than just a 14 playoff. And I also root for the little boys in baseball to do well because I hate how teams can just buy franchises like the New York and LA teams do. And we've seen some good success. The Royals had a nice run about a decade ago, and then they became awful. And it's ironic during the span where the Royals were really good, were World Series contenders. The Houston Astros had 2 of the 3 worst seasons in the history of baseball, and then they became a powerhouse 10 years later. So we see these runs, and the Orioles are a great example of maybe it happening again. The Orioles were the biggest money burner in baseball a couple years ago against the line, also one of the worst records in the history of the game. And now the past 2 seasons, including this year, once again, they've been the most profitable betting team in baseball. They're now 22 games above 500. And as you mentioned, they're a game and a half ahead of Tampa, who had that monster start, but has really come back down to earth. With that said, though, I like to look at expected run differential, which is runs scored versus runs allowed. It's a very basic metric, but over 162 games, it usually adds up to the better teams. Tampa Bay's plus 141 net runs. The Orioles and Blue Jays are plus 46. So Tampa probably still the best team in that division, but that AL East is really loaded.
But they were so far out in front early on. I mean, do you have to almost kind of look at splits? Do you almost look at it? It's 2 months at a time? Because to me, if a team was going to play great for 2 months, I'd rather it be August and September than April and May, if you know what I mean, going into the playoff.
Oh, no question. I mean, these teams have played over 100 games now. That's more than an NBA season. That's more than an NHL season by over 20% already, and they still have 60 games to go. So it's almost 3 seasons in one. It's definitely 2 seasons in one. In fact, it's exactly double an NBA or NHL season. It's almost exactly double. So you do have to look at it during the spans, but teams also go cold offensively, and Tampa's averaging over 6 runs a game those first couple months, which is just unfathomable. I still think they're a pretty good deep team, and they, the playoffs are always interesting for them because starting pitching dominates the playoffs because it's a best of 7 series, even a best of 5 or a one and done, the playoffs now. And you got to have those starting studs, and Tampa's been a team that does a lot, like short starts, a lot of bullpen games. And that's why they're such a good regular season team. We'll see if they're able to continue that in the postseason. The Orioles had 2 relievers in the All-Star game. Their bullpen's been great as well. I don't know if their starting pitching's top of the game, though. You look at a team like Cincinnati that you mentioned, really good offense. I just don't think they have the starters to get it done in the postseason. And then your Atlanta Braves have the second best run differential in baseball. They're plus 140. Tampa's plus 141. Atlanta looks like the team to beat, in my opinion, but you got to worry about the Dodgers. They still have the studs on that team as well. I really think Atlanta and LA are probably the 2 most dangerous teams come postseason.
Yeah, Steve Merrill with us, ProSportsInfo.com. All right, Steve, as we continue to see the changing landscape of sports betting, and we see teams or states now that are being added to the list of where you can legally bet, we have seen more suspensions in the NFL, more guys getting jammed up, and it's like we've got 2 different things going on. We got the Jameson Williams type thing where he didn't even realize what he had done wrong because he placed a bet while he was in the building on a non-NFL bet, on some other sport, and it's legal in the state of Michigan, and he just placed a bet, and he thought he didn't even know he did something wrong. Well, that's ignorance on his part on what the rules are in the NFL. Maybe that rule has to be dealt with. But then you got the guys that get suspended indefinitely. We just saw another one for betting on the NFL. It's mind-boggling to me that guys that make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars a year, are placing bets on their own sport when you got to know better. If you're in the NFL, you can't bet on an NFL game. It's just, it's crazy, the brazenness of some of these guys. I mean, to leave it to the rest of society to do it, not some guy that's actually involved in a game.
Right, and it's, it seems like a little thing, and it's not a big deal, but it also really is stupid on their part, like you said. And the analogy I always think of is Kellen Winslow Jr. or Jay Williams, the basketball player, from Duke that played for the Bulls. They ride the motorcycles, and they have like career-ending injuries sometimes. It's like, just wait 10 or 15 years. You can ride a motorcycle every day the rest of your life when you're like 35 and older. It's the same thing with the betting. You just got to wait. It's just not worth it. There probably is a little bit of confusion. The thing about placing a football bet in an NFL facility is kind of crazy, but there again, if you know the rule, you got to do it. Maybe they got to explain that better. It's kind of a silly rule because you and I have talked about this before. Throughout the decades that during rain delays, guys are playing poker in the clubhouse and on the team buses. Right. So it's not like gambling hasn't always happened in clubhouses and facilities. So I think that's a little nitpicky, but the NFL has always been hypocritical on this front for decades. They poo-hooed gambling, even though people were watching Monday Night Football when the score was 41-3 at 11:30 at night because the over/under was 45. And the minute it was overturned in the Supreme Court, they went from fighting it to backing FanDuel and DraftKings and everybody else. So the leagues are very hypocritical, and they need to have a better balance. But you can't have the players just from an appearance standpoint betting on their own sport. With that said, though, these guys make so much money now, they're really not the guys you got to worry about because they couldn't bet enough to fix a game to make it worth their while. It'd be like you or me betting 5 cents on a game if they're betting $50. And I think the ones you got to worry about still are the officials. We've seen that happen before. And I do think you have to worry about college kids. I didn't like how all these states, including my own Virginia, followed New Jersey, and they banned in-state betting, like you can't bet on the Virginia colleges here. But after thinking about it a little bit more, I'm somewhat okay with it just due to the fact it takes one extra layer of difficulty for an athlete now to make a bet. Like a college basketball player, they can't just open an account. They'd have to fund an offshore account or find somebody else to do it. It adds that one layer of difficulty where it probably does prevent some funniness, from happening in the college sports.
Remember when Rick Neuheisel got jammed when he was a coach at Washington? Right. He got jammed up because he made out a bracket, an NCAA bracket that was, something that was $100 buy-in or something like that. And he made out a bracket. And he ended up getting clipped for that. I mean, that's where that's kind of absurd.
It is. And the NCAA tournament bracket, Tom's a great analogy and a great example of hypocrisy, right? I mean, that's basically what makes that one of the greatest sporting events on earth. And the NCAA always poo-hoos doing the brackets, yet they wouldn't have what they have if they didn't have a bracket. So, yeah.
Well, they have their own bracket contests. They have all kinds of bracket contests. They just don't want you to put $1 on it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, but you're right. It's literally $1. Like, you can fill out 100 online brackets, and you can win a prize. You can win $1 million. Yeah. But if you risk $1 to win, like, $50 in an office pool, that's no good. So, yeah, it's silly.
Crazy stuff. Steve Merrill has been our guest. Steve, we appreciate you so much. I would imagine you're deep diving into all of the college football stuff, getting prepared, crunching your numbers, and getting ready to go just about 4 weeks away now from the first live college football game. We know there'll be some NFL preseason games, and we always just tell people to be very, very careful with the preseason.
We're officially 7 days away from the start of NFL football. It's next Thursday's the Hall of Fame game, I believe. It's pretty crazy.
Aaron Rodgers won't play in that game. I don't know if Deshaun Watson will play in that game. The Browns and the Jets. It'll be interesting to see if anybody play. I did see, though, when I went to Wager Talk, the first thing that popped up was the line in that game. Cleveland is a 1.5-point favorite. Maybe because it's in Ohio. I don't know. The over-under is 33.5. I take the under. But, there you go. There's lines already for the preseason.
Yeah, it's a shame. You're right that's not the dress rehearsal game. Wouldn't that have been a great I guess they'll play 4 games. Everyone else plays 3 now.
Right.
So had that been the second preseason game out of the 3 for everybody, that would have been a great game with Rodgers and Watson getting some time. But I doubt any of them will see especially with them having an extra game. I can't imagine they play. Wager Talk, by the way, Ralph Michaels did a great preseason guide, and he also has a great college football guide. They're both free at wagertalk.com. Every team for college football in depth. And then also some great angles on how you beat the preseason. The NFL preseason is unique, but you definitely can find some edges. So check that out at wagertalk.com.
How do you find it at Wager Talk? I'm at Wager Talk right now. I'm on the.
I think it might be on Ralph's page directly, Ralph Michaels, and you can also find him on Twitter at CalSportsLV. Ralph does a great job with the trends, angles database. So check Ralph Michaels' page at wagertalk.com directly. And Ralph and I think, are actually going to do a baseball video tomorrow on Friday for the weekend, with some charts and trends and angles. That'll be on Wager Talk TV. So, yeah, some great free content there.
So, Ralph is 8-1 in WNBA. I didn't even know there was any action in WNBA.
Yeah, he's just started. It's funny. He's a real tech guy. He just started to do WNBA the last year or so. And, the WNBA, I don't release it now, but you can definitely beat the WNBA. It's very similar to the NBA. And a handicapper at Wager Talk was on a show a few weeks ago. One things he said he liked about it, which caught my attention, was that they're giving an effort. There's no sandbag and there's no load management in the WNBA, and that kind of hit home. I like that.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Great stuff, and we'll look forward to keeping the conversation going.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, let's take a listen to what John Harbaugh had to say as he closed down a Big Ten Media Days. Plus, I'll share with you what P.J. Fleck had to say, because remember I warned about this when the Northwestern thing happened. And by the way, Northwestern did not send any players, just their coach now, their interim head coach there is all they had sent. They did not send any players to Big Ten Media Days. And but PJ, now, see, just like I thought, remember what I told you? I'm shocked that it's been this long since more allegations have come out. But now it's Minnesota former players coming out with allegations about toxicity in the P.J. Fleck-led Minnesota Golden Gophers. So we'll tell you what P.J. Fleck said in response to that as well. I'm the players are wielding an awful lot of power here, and if there's legit stuff there, I'm good with it. But now you wonder how many more allegations we're going to hear that are just going to come out from disgruntled players. We'll talk about it next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If your home needs updating or you have some projects that you just haven't gotten to, Eagle can help. They install shower doors, mirrors, shelving, blinds, bath hardware, and lots more. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon, maybe an isolated shower. Otherwise, it is just simply going to be hot. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices climbing into the lower triple digits. We drop into the mid 70s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Making a solid run at the triple digits. Heat indices are going to be in the triple digits, anywhere between 104 and 106. An isolated shower certainly going to be possible Friday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Wait, didn't we do this one already?
This is Magnum PI.
Oh, this is it just sounded like the last one when I said it was Magnum.
Aren't they both in Hawaii? Isn't Magnum PI in Hawaii? Or is he in California?
Yeah, no, he's Hawaii. That was Hawaii. Well done. All right, we got to get a break in here. Or no, we got to get a break in here. We don't have to get a break in here. We just wrapped up a break in here. But what we do have is Jim Harbaugh, Big Ten Media Days, and this was the final interview for Big Ten Media Days. And you got to figure that Jim Harbaugh, I mean, he's a lightning rod right now. He's got the 4-game suspension coming up. I don't know how he handled it. Michigan is a team, obviously, that is right now a slight favorite maybe to win the Big Ten. Maybe it's Ohio State, a slight favorite to win the Big Ten, but they're right there as they'll be going for the 3rd straight Big Ten championship. And can they get a little further in the playoff? We'll have to find out. But this was Jim Harbaugh earlier today.
Wonderful to see everybody. Start of a new football season. Seems like we just finished the season, and we're starting another one. Honored to be here. As Dave mentioned, really the off season has been one of work for our entire football program. Our players have had a tremendous off season, and look forward to starting practice on the 2nd. Happy to take any questions.
We'll start down here in the front to our right.
John Borton on 3 in the Wolverine. Coach, J.J. McCarthy's been in the fire for 2 straight years now. What would be the next logical steps for him this season as a quarterback?
Well, talking about J.J. McCarthy, the first year he played as a true freshman in games sparingly. He became a full-time starter in 2022. And I have searched my memory for somebody who's been a first-time starter and had a better first year as a first-time starter, and I can't come up with the one. He's a once-in-a-generational type of quarterback at Michigan, and his progress continues to grow. Daily he's at the top of his game right now. Really in all aspects, everything that he does athletically, everything that he does throwing the football, are at the elite level. And then the thing I think that makes him the most special, that differentiating, good and great, is that he's just willing to do anything for his teammates, anything for his team. And I think there's some compared to Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen would be 2, and I know there's others, but that have that level of talent plus the quarterback position to do anything, willing to do anything for their team. That, and I base that off of watching the way Patrick Mahomes interacts with his teammates, what he says about his teammates, what they say about him. Josh Allen, what he says about his teammates, what they say about him. So just looking through the keyhole that way. But that's what I see in J.J. McCarthy every single day.
Coach, we're going to go to our left.
Hi, Jim. Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Ryan Day said yesterday that he thinks there should be a conversation about playing the Ohio State-Michigan game earlier in the year. What's your opinion on that?
We'll play that when we'll play that whenever it's scheduled to be played. We know we're going to play it every season, at least once, and but I don't have a particular opinion of when it should be played. Right now, I mean, it's been played that last game of the season. I think everybody's used to that. That's part of the Thanksgiving tradition now. So that's when we'll expect it.
Do we have more questions, please? We're going to stay to our left.
Tom Crawford, Press Pass, Wolverine Live on 3. Jim, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago here at this event, you were the first coach that I knew that proposed a one-time transfer, and now in the category perhaps a watch what you wish for, looking where it is right now, how would you evaluate the transfer portal, how the NIL is working into that, and is the 60 days too much availability, the 45 days right after the season, then you have that April 13th to April 30th, is that too much to deal with as a program of players going in and out?
So the reason I mean, the very 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I talked about that, I mean, the main reason was, I mean, the only sports that you could not transfer without penalty were football, men's basketball, women's basketball, and I believe hockey was the fourth. I remember that there was 4, and every other sport could choose what was best for them and best for their families. So now we have that in football. You know, a young man can choose what's best for him and for his family. However many years we're in on that now, I would say so far so good, and no need to change. Surely need more data, right? I mean, of all the players I talked to, so the ones that were on our team that went into the portal, good thing. Those that came from the portal to our team, they categorize it as a good thing, and at least it was their decision. Their decision and their family's decision. Talking to even when I talk to our own players who haven't gone in the portal, ask them, what do you think of the portal? And they say, does more good than it is negative. And I think that's a tremendous way to categorize it, at least from my view, from the players' view that I've talked to, and certainly too soon to change it.
Further questions, please. Adam.
Hey, Jim. Adam Rittenberg with ESPN on your other side.
Sorry, to your left.
I just want to know, where do things stand just with the NCAA investigation and your own situation, if there's any discipline that's been agreed upon, or where things are right now?
Right. So, as you probably already know, I mean, I can't, not allowed to talk about any aspect of that ongoing situation. And I'm with you. I mean, I'd love to lay it all out there. Nothing to be ashamed of, and but now is not that time, and that's about all there is to say about that.
We're going to go to our right in the back.
Tyler Tashman with the Des Moines Register. This is more of a contextual question to the last 2 seasons, but you talked about what JJ had been through. How much of a benefit was it for him to learn from a guy like Cade McNamara? In what ways did you see Cade push JJ and help him get to where he is now?
So many great ways. I mean, remember being here last year at this time. I mean, going into this training camp with 2 players that were starter caliber, and I loved the way they competed. It was never combative. JJ saw everything in the way Cade would compete and grind. He wasn't there. My most memorable moment with Cade was the 2020 game where at Rutgers and down 17 points, and he went into the game, and it was just like the spark, the throwing the ball with no conscience and just playing free. And from that moment on, that was the kind of player that he was. I remember he got a big hit right before halftime too, and then just gravel in his gut went out there. I mean, love Cade, and certainly JJ was in the same quarterback room and saw all those same attributes, and so it was tremendous. Now there's going to be some situations like that this year. I mean, as I go into training camp this year, and not at the quarterback position. JJ is he's our quarterback, but there's other positions where it's going to be very similar to having two starting players and then watching it unfold. Who's going to start? We're going to play the best players. How do we know who the best players are? They play the best. I see that at corner, one of the starting corner position. Amarion Walker, Josh Wallace, Jaden McBurrows, some other very fine players, newcomers. But I think it'll come down to a situation where Mikey be a starter, Will Johnson will be a starter, and then that who is that other starter, whether it's at nickel or corner. And it may take training camp, may take into the first couple games. Probably the same thing at edge rusher. The edge position, I see 4 really good edge players there, at least, and probably going to witness the same situation there. That may go into the game 1, game 2, very similar to what we saw last year at the quarterback position. And there's some other tight battles. Offensive line, I look at 10 guys right now that are starter caliber. Our running back situation is 2 great players, Dono and Blake and Dono. It doesn't get any better. And could go through the tight end position, Colston Loveland. I know I'm on camera here, so the longer it takes him to realize how good he is, the better off he'll probably be. But I think the secret's out. He is really, really good. A.J. Barner has been a great addition to our team. We'll have two really great players there, Matt Hibner and Max Bredesen. 4 outstanding guys. Marlon Klein's coming. Pretty much I could go through our roster right now and paint a similar picture. We do this thing called KPIs, Key Performance Indicators. It's about 47, 48 categories: strength and power, speed and agility, flexibility, mobility, and every guy's always trying to, up their grade. By far, I look at this off season and the work that's been put in, and just seeing those key performance indicators just rise weekly and monthly. Excited, very excited to turn that loose and start training camp. I think our team's as healthy as you could ask for, very talented, and extremely hard work ethic. And not one of them wants to hear about what they did last year or the last 2 years. It's always, Coach, we're doing it again. We're doing it now, and now's the time that matters. So that's the kind of attitude and effort and talent we're taking into this start of this training camp.
We have 2 more questions. We'll start on the right.
Over here, Coach Bill Bender, Sporting News. Running back salaries have been talked about a lot in the NFL over the last couple of weeks. So with Blake's decision to come back, how much is that part of the conversation when you're talking to running backs and how they, get paid at the next level?
It hasn't been part of the conversation. Blake said he's coming back. I mean, it was pull it in, pull it down. That was made my day, made my week, made my off season. What he shared with me was that he wanted the full off season. He wanted to be able to get not even back to where he was, but better, stronger, faster, quicker than where he was. He wanted that season, and then when it was time for him to go into the NFL, he wanted to be able to go in fully prepared with a full workout leading up to those combines and to that draft. And when that time comes, I mean, nobody's going to get a better guy. They're not going to get a better, more talented player. They're definitely not going to get a player that works harder or cares more or is more of an infectious, positive to his teammates in terms of being a leader. Heck, I mean, the three guys that are here, Chris Jenkins, Mikey Samerstill, Blake Corum, I mean, each one of those three are walking, talking billboards for how you should attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, and it's infectious on our team. So I think Blake's in a great place. Everything he thought of, everything he visualized in terms of where he would be right now, he's well trained, he was well thought out, and he's in a great place.
Our final question down here in front in the left.
Hey Jim, Andy Witchery with On3. Perhaps building off that last question, there was a One More Year fund designed to retain 4 players, including Blake. What was that like to have that campaign designed to retain some key players from last year's championship team in the Big Ten?
I'd have to say, I mean, the collective, we support our collective. Former player Jared Wangler, everybody that cares about Michigan. Can't wait. Have a great golf tournament coming up on July 31st, and looking forward to building on that.
Was the Big Ten media instructed not to ask Jim Harbaugh about the 4-game suspension? All right, are you kidding me? 15 minutes of Jim Harbaugh, and there was not one comment about the 4-game suspension and the pending. Jim, can you just comment about the possibility of the 4-game suspension? Let him say. I can't comment on that. I mean, how? They must have been told that they couldn't talk about it, right?
Well, because the Big Ten announcers actually right before that, and I think I had it recorded. I'd have to go back and look. The Big Ten announcers that were at the event were literally talking about it on the Big Ten Network right before he was put to the podium. So there was like a form of they were thinking that even the media was going to ask some questions on what was going on, and it just seemed like they didn't.
I mean, that is really weak.
Yeah,
that is really weak.
Everyone just seems to be sweeping this under the rug like it's nothing.
I mean, that is
cheeseburgers.
I don't know how. Now here it says, here's a headline from Wolverine's Wire. Jim Harbaugh asked about NCAA suspension at Big Ten Media Days. When?
Probably in their quote electronic room, because that was at the end of the big room.
Harbaugh took to the dais on Thursday, day 2, and he was asked whether the suspension is confirmed. He demurred, saying he's not allowed to discuss it at this time. So as you already know, I'm not allowed to talk about any aspect of an ongoing situation. I'm with you. I'd love to lay it all out there. Nothing to be ashamed of. But now is not the time. It's not the time to talk about all there is to say about that. I mean, just eat that thing and go. I mean, they're letting you coach all week long. They're only letting you can't stand on the sideline while you're beating the hell out of a cupcake. Doesn't make any sense. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, Jeremy Pruitt has landed a job. We'll tell you about that next, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Electric cars are coming faster than you think, and that's why we're bringing SEMA Connect to Alabama.
Our team educates you and helps provide a long-term plan for your business. Where to put them, how to get them there, how to pay for them, tax incentives, service, and monitoring. We take care of everything.
Doing the right thing means bringing EV car chargers to Alabama. Let us help you with your EV charging plan.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon, maybe an isolated shower. Otherwise, it is just simply going to be hot. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices climbing into the lower triple digits. We drop into the mid 70s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Making a solid run at the triple digits. Heat indices are going to be in the triple digits, anywhere between 104 and 106. An isolated shower certainly going to be possible Friday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Want to see what I bring to the party?
Congratulations to The Drive as we celebrate a decade of Wes and Steve. Here's to 10 more.
Now Sonny and Cher would say, that's on you, babe.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The all-time great theme songs since ever. Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show.
And that wasn't Jeremy Perkins related, or that wasn't any coaching investigation related. Or Pruitt, I said Perkins, yeah.
You
Jeremy
didn't
Pruitt.
play Law and Order for Jeremy Pruitt?
That wasn't Jeremy Pruitt. That wasn't any, Jim Harbaugh related.
Why are you going there? I mean, we just got off a Harbaugh, and you got a Jeremy Pruitt story, and you want to say that it doesn't have anything to do with it? It's much more snarky to say that it has everything. I'm looking for my Twitter thing on my tab here. Oh, X. I'm like, what happened to my Twitter? I wanted to see my Twitter stories.
There's no bird. It's X.
I got no bird. I got X. You know the biggest problem with that is, Grizz, is what are we supposed to call the posts? X posts? Yeah, even that's hard to say. They're X's? Are they X's? Like if you have multiple wives or girlfriends, X's? I mean, the only thing that made sense about the Twitter was that there were tweets.
Yeah.
And tweets, I'm
name,
tweeting.
yeah.
I'll be tweeting. I'll be Xing during the game. I'm reading a tweet or I'm reading an
right
X.
Now. Are you Xing right now? I'm Xing right now.
I don't have any problem with the thing being called X, although it's funny. On my computer, it has the X logo. Up on the top, on the tab, it has the X, but it's twitter.com/home on the slug line. So it's still Twitter. And then if you go all the way to the top there, it says tweets. You know what I mean? It has a thing over to the side like tweets.
Yeah.
So, and then when you tweet something, it says tweet. Like what's happening?
Tweet sent.
You type in what are you, and then you hit the tweet button. So it's like they're half pregnant. I don't know what they're doing.
He's just messing with people. He has to be. And this is just a rich person playing with us with his brand and his everything like that. And
Do you think he's stunting? Remember when IHOP became Burger Hop or iBurger or whatever that thing? Remember they did that?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
You think that's what he's doing?
It was IHOB.
IHOB? No, was it IHOB? Yeah, House of Burgers.
IHOB.
So you think he's stunting? That's a radio term for when you flip a radio station.
I really think so. I really think he's just messing with people. He's done this before.
It'd be interesting. All right, Jeremy Pruitt has a new gig. Jeremy Pruitt, who's had a 6-year show cause against them for coaching in college football for all of his problems that he had at Tennessee. I say problems that he had, things that he created, things that he oversaw at Tennessee. So he's got a 6-year show cause, but that doesn't mean he can't coach in the NFL. He can't take his defense that he learned from Nick Saban and take it to the NFL. He can't go. It doesn't mean he can't go be a consultant or an assistant coach or something like that in the league. That's not what he did.
XFL head coach.
He can't. That means he can't be an XFL head coach. It doesn't mean he can't be a head coach of in the USFL. It doesn't mean he can't be a coach in the Arena League. It's going to have 16 teams next year. That's not the job he took. He took a job as a gym teacher at Plainview High School. Gym teacher at Plainview. Where's Plainview?
It's right outside, like Fort Payne, like that whole Rainsville area, southeast of here.
Plainview High School. Do they have football? Do they play football at Plainview?
Oh yeah. They play basketball too. I get a lot of calls from Bama Bino.
Wait a minute. We don't care about basketball. We're talking about Jeremy Pruitt.
Yes, they play football.
Stay on task. So Plainview has a football team. They are. What thing do they play in? 3A. They're a 3A Region 6 football team. Are they good? Were they any good last year? Let's see what they were last year. I can't find a record from last year. All right, so he's a gym teacher there. He's just a gym teacher. But if you got Jeremy Pruitt, if you're coaching football at Plainview and Jeremy Pruitt is a gym teacher at your school, if you're the coach, don't you want to go in there and maybe, pick his brain a little bit? I mean, not about recruiting or anything like that, but maybe you want to go and just talk to him a little bit. Rainsville, Alabama is where Plainview High School is. Maybe you just want to go talk to him a little bit. Say, hey, I mean, is he allowed to come out on the field? Yeah, Jeremy friggin' Pruitt. I mean, from a football brain standpoint, you think he would be allowed to go out, watch a little practice? If you're the head coach at Plainview High School, do you get to say, hey, I'm just wondering, if you're Brad Bruce or one of those guys, those are assistant guys, do they even have a head coach right now? I don't know if they got a head coach. Max Preps isn't even listing a head coach from just a bunch of assistant coaches. So do you say, hey, Jeremy, can you come out to practice? Is that a real story, Grizz? It was on X, which we don't know if that's real.
It was on 3, too.
Oh, it's on 3? All right, give me Paulie and a cape. Paulie, what's going on?
What's going on, Tom?
You are
ready for football in a couple of weeks?
Yes, I'm ready for football. In a week. I'm ready for football in 1 week.
Yeah, I know. In the SEC, who do you think is going to be the team that's going to cover?
Who's going to cover what?
Alabama, Georgia. I mean, the spread when they play, who's going to be the profitable team covering the spread? Who do you think?
Well, I think both Alabama and Georgia will be good against the spread.
What do you think next year when Texas and Oklahoma enter the SEC?
I think they're going to struggle a little bit. I think Texas has a better shot to do better than.
I think they're both going to be teams that don't get covered, but they lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe.
I think that's what's going to happen next year.
All right, Paulie. It's a good job by you. Speaking of Paulie, Paul Feinbaum is coming up next on 97.7 ESPN. The Zone.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors.